Okay, I wanted to do a video to show you something most people don't ever get to see. You may not can tell it, but we're standing on an old road bed. You see the pipes in the woods, not pipes, but the angle iron sticking out of the woods. Back in 1920, or prior to 1920, in 1870, a bridge was built in the woods, and we're in Holcomb, Mississippi. If you want to look it up, Holcomb is spelled Holcomb. In 1920, the Army Corps of Engineers rerouted the Yallabusha River, and the river used to run right over there towards where the side-by-side is sitting. And you can tell, here's the trestles. Where we're standing is directly underneath the bridge. So in 1920, they rerouted the Yallabusha to a different route, left the bridge here, and then in the year 1997, somebody came along and trespassed on our property, ripped down most of the bridge and stole most of the metal. But so the superstructure is gone. You can see parts of the bridge left. The trestles are, some of them are here, some are not. A lot of it's buried in the dirt. This was actually my father-in-law's land, and he had heart surgery, and while he was in the hospital having heart surgery, somebody came out and trespassed and stole a lot of the metal. There actually, up before 1997, there was a bridge that spanned here, and you could ride down and look at the bridge, and you could climb up and walk on it. I've walked on it. It was really neat. But part of the structure is still standing. And this is incredible. This was an old turnstile bridge, and I'll show you the main pylon in just a minute. These are the pylons leading up to it. This bridge, there were only 3 turnstile bridges left in Mississippi at that time. This was one of the 3 before the guys ripped it down. But there's the main pylon right over there. The bridge was about 150 feet long, and the Yallabusha River ran right through this. Where we're at right now used to be riverbed. And cotton and tobacco used to go up and down the Yallabusha River. And they would bring teams of horses onto the bank over here, and they would hook up to one end of the bridge and spin it. So that center pylon was a spinning pylon. It was a turnstile point for the bridge. And that thing is massive. When it's colder weather, I'll come back and take a better video when there's not as many leaves in the trees and show it to you. So anyhow, they would take a team of horses and hook up, and they would actually spin the bridge to let a barge go up or down the river one way or another. But the jungle's pretty much taking it back over now. There's just woods out here now and a lot of different types of trees. But that's a small piece of history. Really interesting. Okay, if you got a farm, I'm gonna show you a tool you got to get. That's a Stihl weed eater with a chainsaw attachment head. It's not really a chainsaw, it's a disc saw head, and it does a great job. Okay, here's this Stihl, and this is a quality weed eater. And you really can't call these a weed eater anymore because you can get so many different attachments for this. Quick attach. It's really called a string trimmer. So this is the saw head for it, and that puppy can really cut some trees. So we're going to demonstrate that to you. All right, that's the string trimmer. Watch what it can do. Here's a sad sight to see. We came across this in the woods, just thought I'd show it to you. That's probably $800 or $900 worth of beautiful oak. Well, it used to be. Now it's $0 worth of beautiful oak firewood. It fell in a storm we had not long ago. I guess this gully has undercut the root structure of it. See that big crack in it? I'm sure that's home to a snake or raccoon or something now. The tree just split open. And this is one of the reasons that after a bad storm, loggers don't come through and cut up all the firewood left, and it's because when a tree falls like this, it splits the fiber structure of the wood, and the wood is worthless. And you, even though you can't see it, the rest of the wood all around the trunk of the tree will have the same sort of cracks in it. Now this tree, it looks like was hollow. Let's see if I can get close. You can see up in there. The tree was hollow, which is probably one of the reasons it fell. It looks like it's sort of rotten inside, but yeah, and you can see the root structure. It's pretty much gone. I think when the ground is when you no longer have dirt and a good ground, good foundation around your root structure, trees will start to die. And when they start to die, they get hollow inside, just like this tree. So I think this gully washed out so bad that it uncovered the roots, and the tree died, and that's why it fell. I think the roots on the uphill side are anchoring it. It's got a couple of trees up here it fell against that are anchoring it. Other than that, it would be on the ground, and it probably will be within 3 or 4 months. I'll have to come out and cut it up. Okay, another quick tidbit for all you deer hunters. We don't do this anymore because we don't bait deer, but a lot of people will take a peanut butter container and they will nail the top of it to a tree, and they'll cut the bottom out of the peanut butter container and screw it back on the lid. Deer can come up and lick the peanut butter. I think that's generally bad practice, but a lot of people who don't have as much respect for the deer as we do, they bait the deer like that. And for me, it just takes some of the sportsmanship out of the sport, but a lot of people do it. Anyhow, bad idea. I'll come back with a screwdriver and pry that off.